I'm here just in case anybody else is. Check, check, check. If anybody is here, can give me an audio test before I check my other device. I'm just getting sorted out with the extension cord, depending on how long we're going to be here. Get something set up so we don't run out of battery, should that be the case. All that fun stuff. So if you're here, even at the beginning on replay, sorry for the silence initially. I just wanted to make sure that I got the filter on for subscribers only so we don't get any bots. Anyway, welcome to the patio on a beautiful sunny day. I'm a little bit further away from my aphyllum because I thought I would show you the mother plant in her entirety. If we get up too close and see the blooms, etc., we don't see the full spectacle. But there's more to her. I'm just a little bit wary about moving the tripod around too much because I'm doing this straight from the YouTube app, something I'm not too familiar with. So I'm hoping to get a bit of a groove into just doing it via the YouTube app, seeing my internet range, because like last year, I have always wanted to just, spontaneously go live and say, oh, look at this, and then, just spend 30 minutes actually live and not make it a big deal, not make it a big hoopla thing. Okay. Hi, Sylvia. Oh my goodness, how sweet of you to come in. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Well, if you fall asleep, then I hope this helps with some sweet dreams. I appreciate you showing up. Make sure you get yourself some good rest. Oh, sweet. That's very kind of you. Yeah, I was thinking there's certain timing with this orchid as to when I can do it. It can't be too hot because the transmitter will overheat. Can't be too windy, otherwise it's going to affect the audio. And obviously I've been extremely ill as well. So I can't be sitting in a cross breeze, and that's why I'm a little bit further away from the camera as well, because I'm sitting in the sun so as not to sit in the shade and get the breeze all up in my business, because otherwise I might as well just forget tomorrow. That's why I may sound very breathy also over the mic. I was trying to avoid that, but aphyllum blooms are so short-lived that to get them at their prime, you only have an X amount of window time, So anyway, before you go to sleep, Sylvia, I'm just going to tilt the tripod and show you the full extent of it if you're still here. Those are all the keikis from the mother plant that I made into a monster mount over the years, accumulated when they were tiny. And the mount was created, this is all inorganic up there, was created in 2021. And I had put on my thumbnail a curtain for 2026, and here we are. It's pretty much a curtain. I think the top looks so much prettier because they're all new long canes. There's no old back canes spoiling the visual. Like with the mother plant, the bigger she gets, all the older canes in the back, they sort of stop that, just the blooms part, and you're seeing gaps from older canes, etc. She goes all the way down. Let me tilt a little bit more. There, she goes all the way down. And all the blooms down there are additional keikis, which I haven't removed. I wanted to test her and see what she does if I don't remove keikis for several years, apart from the fact you get more blooms. But it also makes the orchid look more messy. So there's something, I'm trying to cook up something in my brain because I don't want to be throwing aphyllum keikis away, but she's a keiki machine by nature, and it's just a shame. And I think I've got like 100 or some keikis down there with new growths, 2 to 3 years old. So I'm trying to think, what can I do to get more aphyllum in my life? And she only does this for about 10 days per year, and the rest is just care and care and care. Oh, I feel as though I'm on the mend. Thank you, Sylvia. I do feel as though I'm on the mend, but I can also feel my voice is very strained. And of course, I don't want a backlash because this has been going on for 10, 11 days now. Sorry about the background noise, but this is the patio raw. So I'm not trying to, get too heavy on the meds. I want to be able to gauge what am I up against, how am I doing, and I feel better. And then suddenly I don't. So at least we've got phases of feeling better. So that's already a good start. I hope you're doing well as well, and you're having a good week. And yeah, I'm probably going to get, different people being able to come in this time of day, but it's, you know, I want to try and see if I can do a little bit of streams during the day, because I have chores to do with my orchids that have been neglected because I couldn't be outside for at least a week. It was almost impossible to even water my orchids. But, and I just thought, if I can just turn the camera on and do those chores with the camera rolling on a stream, 1 or 2 pots a day, just something to add to the engagement. So that's where I'm at, a little bit of a test thing. And I'm sorry also for the tattered curtains in the background, usually not my shtick. I like everything to be perfect, but I can't be going up on any pedestal, little staircases to change the curtains at the moment. I did that with my Chow Praya because the wind had made her so top heavy she was falling over. I didn't want the fans to snap, so I really meticulously, carefully, with jittery legs, went up on my little pedestal thing, staircase, and I almost passed out when I was done. No bueno at all. No bueno. But at least the orchid is fine. I had to recover. So anyway, hey, Southern gal, so sweet of you to join me on the patio for a moment. How kind. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. I really enjoyed our conversation the other day as well. That was nice, just to get away. There might be a silver lining to being ill. You can't do stuff, but at least you can take time. And at least my voice was working. So I can see that we're probably about at a 20 to 30 second delay. Gosh, that tattered curtain in the background, how embarrassing. Oh well, talk about transparency. So I wonder if I'm lagging or what is going on. This is very different for me from what I normally do when I go live. And the patio is usually very busy and noisy, as you can probably hear. It gets worse if I don't talk, but I will have to stop talking at some point just to catch a break with my voice and take a sip of my drink. If you'll excuse me, please. It's absolutely gorgeous in the sun. I'm thinking maybe if I can get my act together, tomorrow I'll go live a little bit earlier so that the orchid is in full sun. And you can see how she kind of glows. Of course, I'll be making a video about this as I do every year. But she's pretty when the sun shines on her. It's just that the equipment is also in the sunshine, and that's a big concern about the equipment heating up. But maybe for a couple of minutes if I'm not going to be punished for what I'm doing now, health-wise. You can hear somebody squawking in the background. That is Ciliano. That's my bird. He doesn't seem to like it when I disappear out of sight. But he's not ready to go into his jungle gym either, because the breeze has a certain chill to it. So anyway, that's my aphyllum for 2026. Very pretty. I love her. Oh, and she, with all these blooms, she does have a fragrance now that carries in the breeze. It's a very mild, delightful rose fragrance. But if, let's say the years before when she was, just growing up and doing her bloom thing with 2 or 3 canes, there was no fragrance at all to be detected. That's how mild the fragrance is of this orchid. But with a mass blooming like this, I have a very delightful, rosy perfume in the air, even from where I'm sat. And it also wafts into the living room, so it's very pleasant. It's going to be messy when she drops her blooms because that also all happens at once. And then we're going to clean the blooming alley and just get ready for the growth season of this orchid. She needs a lot of water at the moment. And the warmer it were to get, for example, and the drier, lesser humidity I have, the quicker the blooms will drop. But she's stunning. So what I'm going to do is be brave and walk you in a little bit closer. Take my extension cord and see if I can get a close-up and you don't hear me moaning about pain in my hip. So there's that. Beautiful. So, so pretty. She faces east, so she gets full morning sun, no matter the time of year. Less hours during the summer because of the sun being so high up in the sky. But exactly the amount of light that she needs, and enough light that you can see the new growths on the top. I can't point to them, I'm using both hands. But they've already got the blush of the anthocyanin. So she gets a lot of full sun in the morning. And during the winter, it's pretty much 6 to 7 hours of sunshine just because of the way the light changes, because otherwise then the light comes in from the left. So she's a full sun orchid in the winter, pretty much if it is a sunny day, and becomes a full shade orchid for about, well, full sun for 2 hours in the morning and then turns into full shade. But you can see here, maybe, the new growths. She's already on her way. So it's a lot of watering and a lot of calcium nitrate to make these growths grow strong. I have to be careful with the camera now because my dog has clearly done something. Everything was cleaned up and tidied up. If you might just give me a minute, I'll take care of that. Oh, thanks, King. I mean, you know, you get the job done, everything's tidy, and then it's like, oh, look at this. So I don't want to slip up and lose track of where his business is. So I'm just hoping now that Baloo doesn't come out and think, oh, nice. Me too. Let me scoot you back a little bit. That's better. Whoa, why? Ooh, just as well because my tripod is working against me. There we go. There we go. All right. If I can, I'm going to mute in between coughs. Sometimes I can't do it that fast. I wonder if my stream has stalled. It says I'm still live, but who knows? Things are weird. I know that Southern gal did leave a comment, but that comment is not even here on my other device. Anyway, I'll just sit here for I'll do this for an hour. If I have to go inside for something, I'll just keep the camera running. But there's no reason for me to. Does this even look straight? No. Then I was also thinking one day just to leave the camera rolling without talking and just put it on some blooms, because to the right of me, I've got my Ancilia africanus in bloom. that smell very dusty, like being out on a road trip on gravel dust, safari in Africa, that kind of dusty smell. Here comes the welcoming committee. My daughter's coming home from work. There's going to be action. Woo! There we go. The noise pollution is insane. Okay, let me just, King? Okay, good boy. Okay, let me just tilt up a little bit more, even if nobody's here. At least there's some variety. Yes, my monster mount. Serving its purpose. It's raining blooms. So pretty. I love it. Even though I'm talking to myself, I love it. And here's Mama. Let me get this steady and move her down so we can get another look at the whole thing. There. Just for another interval. There's not many here, but if you do come in, please give it a thumbs up. Every little helps. Thank you so much. No, it's okay. Hey there, if anybody is coming in at this point in time, just know that I am here. I'm just resting my voice and not babbling away, so feel free to chat and let's talk. Don't think I'm not here, okay? I'm here. And thank you for being here, by the way. I appreciate that. I just had to mute for a little bit because my daughter was talking to me. She just came back from work. Nice. 2 days off for her ahead. Always good thing. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Crystal, hello. Thank you so much for joining just for a teeny tiny bit. There's not much going on. There's just me and my beautiful orchid that I share every year when she is in peak bloom. So I don't want to keep you, but thank you so much for being here. If you haven't gone back and started from the beginning, just going to show you what else she's doing. This is all her. She is definitely multiplying. And this is all her as well. A rain shower of blooms with a faint hint of roses in the spring air. Love this orchid. Thank you for the thumbs up request. Yes, much needed. And thank you, Crystal, for being here. Yeah, she really is gorgeous. I only have about 10 days of this bloom spectacle per year. And then I just, every once in a while, this time of year when she's in full bloom, sit on the patio, go live, noise pollution and all, so that we could see it in real time. But trust that I have been taking lots of pictures again. I have a hard drive almost just full of this orchids in bloom. Hope you're having a wonderful day already, Crystal. I'll be here for another 20 minutes approx. And maybe I'll do this again earlier tomorrow when the sun is shining on her. Now that I've gone on live using the app, it's not as cumbersome as I thought. Mr. Joe, welcome to the patio with all the noise pollution included. You would have one in a hanging basket. Yes, they do. They do. They are perfect. Actually, the first time I saw this orchid was in a hanging basket, and she was being grown in Italy. And she was in one of those, bamboo baskets like what we see the Vandas usually hanging in. And I thought, yeah, I'm going to get myself one of those. Yeah, I'm okay, Crystal. I'm just a little bit concerned of, being outside. I'm trying to stay in the sun so I'm not getting any cool spring breeze on me, because the last thing I need is to relapse. I'm only just starting to feel a bit better. Thank you, but You know, I don't want to tomorrow regret my decision for doing what I'm doing here outside now, but I have to. The orchid dictates, and so does the weather, because if it's too windy, it's just one big blur, and I can't be outside if it's too windy. So I picked today because there was pretty much hardly any wind forecast for today, and I might just do it again tomorrow early morning, because there's no wind forecast for early morning, and I can sit in the sun and just do it for as long as maybe an hour, depending if the transmitter holds, because that's another thing. I've got to watch the equipment heating up if it's in the sun. But she's glorious, so trust there will be eventually a video just to show her in her full spectacle, including what is my curtain. And also, Joe, if you're still here, I know it's early morning, you've got to get on with your day, but if you're still here, you can. It's going to be almost, okay, overnight. Oh, wow, we haven't even reached those temperatures. We're still 55. We're not even in the 60s for the evening. Not at all. Still got a ways to go there. But I was just going to say that she would be one of the last orchids to come indoors for you. And you can keep her in a colder room, or I don't know if you have like a portico or something, closed off cold room or something like that. As long as she gets plenty of light, even when she's dormant, you'll be fine. Because she lives outside here with me. I never bring her in, and you know my lowest temperatures are 41 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's not that big a deal, and she can be one of the first to go outside as well. And Joe says, I have the Kingiana that I keep in an enclosed porch until November. There you go, yeah. Yeah. As long as, you know, I think that this orchid will be able to take a light frost, but, you know, she needs then a lot of light and warmth to make up for it. Like warmth in a sense that she doesn't, you know, get chilled all the way. But I would cut it off at 41. At least that I can guarantee. I don't want to speculate on any lower temperatures. And with a mass of blooms like this now, there are roses in the air. I smell her. Meanwhile, on the bottom shelf under the portico to the left of the last blooming cane there, I've got my maxima in bloom still, and my guariantha just opened up as well. On the top shelf you can hardly see, but my intermedia, my linden, my Hilton is up there, the Fufuracea primary hybrid, and I've got pocket lover as well. And behind me, I hope we don't get cut off, I want to... Okay, next time I have to remember to put do not disturb. And behind me I've got all the Anselias in bloom, and they're smelling like safari dust. Well, all of them bar one. Took a lot of footage today because I could venture outside without shaking like a leaf. I'm very weak at the moment because I'm hardly eating. I've got no appetite. Everything tastes metallic. So I'm feeling a bit weak. Aniki. My local garden center had 2 or 3 hibiscus for sale yesterday. They had roots going everywhere. The one I have now still has yellow leaves, which is probably being too cold or wet at one time. Their roots are going everywhere. Yeah, that sounds nice. You hope it. I hope so too. I hope so too. My hibiki is not coming outdoors this summer. It's poorly. Pretty much based on what you're saying as well. They're too cold, too wet, and in my case, not enough light. It's weakening from year to year because the past 2 winters we haven't had much natural light either. And it's getting weaker because of it. So I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to put it into lava rock because I don't want to weaken it further. So I'm in a bit of a conundrum. But if in doubt, if you get yourself another one, just to have backup. King no. Why is it that dogs have to move towards something where they shouldn't be? And they do it so sneakily. So if the tripod jiggles, I'm sorry. Whoa. Okay. That neighboring gardener was here yesterday. I thought I had timed that as well. Sorry about that, but welcome to the patio. It is what it is, I guess. I can't change that. I think I'm going to have to put out my Angraecum umbrella today. With as little breeze as we've got in that corner. That was my dog, not me. When he flaps his ears, it sounds rude. Maneki. Maneki. There we go. I know, Joe, and I appreciate it, but please don't feel obliged. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate your support. You're so amazing, so generous with your time. Please don't feel obliged. I mean, people can look back and come in. Oh, it's an aphyllum in bloom. Click out, whatever. It's fine. It's fine. Just know that it is always so wonderful to see you. I appreciate it. I'm only going to be here for another like 8 minutes anyway. Just 1 hour suffices. It's also might be a different crowd if I go live during this time of the day because people are going to bed in Australia and just waking up and it's midweek. Goodness me. Not everybody can sit around on a patio like myself, so I understand. I fully get it. And that's why I'm not talking much either because, just want to rest my voice. I would like to edit some videos, but I can't do the voiceovers. If I sound congested, I don't want that as a permanent feature on a video going forward. because I'll sound like a truck. Like that thing that just went back there. You're being pain. Yeah, I've tried that. I'm just, you know, when I hear people trying to replicate their voices with AI, knowing how they speak, I don't like it, Joe. I don't. You see, that's where I stand in my own way. There are tools to make things easier, and then there's me thinking, yeah, sometimes, you know, I'll do something design-wise using AI, or like I did all the Christmas stuff. That was all AI just to have some fun. And I could do all that on a mobile device while I had no power and stuff, but I've just, you know, I've stopped stressing about these things. I sometimes have moments where I get so frustrated, but if this was me 3 years ago, I would be having conniptions. And now I just have to accept the reality for what it is. And, you know, if I want my videos to sound like me, then I just have to wait until my voice doesn't sound like I'm talking through a tin can. You know what I mean? It's just... It also took me a while with my 2 AI songs to at least get a tune that sounds, you know, it's AI, but it doesn't sound so so hollow, so high in treble, you know? It took me a while to get those 2 the way I wanted them to sound. Oh goody, a carpenter bee. Let me see if it's still going to be around top left, and one of the canes, it's bumbling around there to the left, to the left, to the left. So I haven't seen any shavings anywhere. I haven't seen it return to its old hole, so I'm just kind of waiting, biding my time to see if it's going to make another hole somewhere else. Yeah, that's what I pretty much tell myself as well, Joe, and I appreciate your understanding about that as well. I do. I'm just taking a lot of footage, you know. Everything that I want to document, talk about. I have the request for a Catasatine update. I've got all the footage. Everything is uploaded into the editing software. I just want to talk about it, you know. So that would have been done, let's say, I've got one video on members. 1 week I did 2 videos, and I was like, yay, I'm back in the saddle, you know? And then it just, and then I got ill, and then I just, whatever. You know, you can, I can be mad about it, but I can't force it. There's a bumble, that bumble is busy, that carpenter bee. He's pollinating all my blooms. No wonder some of my Anselias are fading faster than they should. He's going for them. I only have one that I can, that I have, that keeps, either it's the same one coming back, I don't know the life cycle of a bumble. I don't know if it's always the same one that comes back, or the child that was born on this terrace in the hole that was drilled on the back of my Brassavola perenniae mount. I can see the hole from where I'm sitting. But, so if you look between the cane and the light fixture up there, there's a mount where he is bumbling around to the right. I don't know if you can actually see him bumbling there on the blooms. But up there you can actually see the hole that was drilled last year where I saw the shavings. These guys are massive as well. I didn't know what it was. until and I showed the hole and somebody on a video told me, yeah, that's a carpenter bee. I thought, well, that makes sense. Perfect circles as well. Look at him having the time of his life in my blooms. Dude, look at him, one after the other. How many now? 15 that are gonna collapse? 16. He did that to my Phalaenopsis blooms as well. So I've kept the door closed to see if I can maybe have some Phalaenopsis blooms that I can at least show this year. Okay, hang on a second, sorry. I've been looking up to keep the camera where it's supposed to be. Yes, there are 2 aphyllums. This is the monster mount up here. Sorry for that jiggle. This is the monster mount that was created in 2021, and it's all the keikis from the mother plant over the years, and they've just now starting to grow to size. One more year and the canes will be their full size that I can achieve in my climate. And I haven't harvested keikis for 2 years now. This will be the 3rd year if I don't take the keikis off the lower canes. Watch, if you're still here, Joe. I'm not looking at the chat at the moment. You can see the gap. That's the tip of the canes originally. And then everything down there is a cluster of blooming keikis. And I haven't harvested them because I wanted to see what an orchid would do. Besides, I get more blooms, but I wanted to see what this one does if you don't harvest the keikis. And I don't like it. I don't like, there's a gap there. And but I don't know what to do with the keikis. That's the conundrum. I don't want to throw them away, but where am I going to put them? It's beautiful. So short-lived, but absolutely beautiful. Dude, that bumble is really... It's not a bumble, but... He's up there, top left. Cruising for a bruising. Bye. Okay, there's no blooms there. My tangerinum hasn't emerged yet. I've got buds. I'm trying to... I saw another grasshopper yesterday. Locust, it wasn't a grasshopper. I saw another one yesterday. I dispatched that one. Because that one was lurking by the chow praia that has 3 spikes on it. And I'm like, yeah, dude, you're not doing this. And I keep checking my Ancelias because only 1 spike got munched off. And the other ones are okay. Bloomed out. I wonder what it is that makes dendrobiums make so many keikis compared to other orchids from East Asia. I don't think any from South America make keikis, but I could be wrong. Honestly, I have no idea. It's a good question. It's a good question. I wonder if it has to do with survival. That the harsher the conditions, the more keikis they have to produce in order if something goes wrong with the mother plant. I'm just guessing off the top of my head. Because keikis are a reproductive thing as in a form of survival. But what I am going to do is, and I already have my footage for that, is to talk about canes, old canes, grooming, from nobiles to this, to the complex hybrids, etc., etc. So I've documented all the footage that I need. And I would love to make a video about that. And I'm going to talk about the keiki behavior with the mother plant on the aphyllum in the aphyllum video. So you see, the list is piling up. There are plans. There are plans for videos. But that's a good question. For me, it's just off the top of my head. It's location conditions, harsh conditions based in order for survival. if somebody were to ask me what my opinion was without having a replica answer, a proper researched answer. You put all your keikis from the king yanam in the same pot? Yeah, well, that's all I have in one pot is 5 keikis that, hopefully will develop. I don't like what I was seeing. Every time the leaves grow clean, then they start to get spotty at some point. Started with my Patricia van Puyenbroek. I'm about to... Well, this year I'm going to treat them with fungicides, something I never do because I don't want to... Dendrobiums and fungicides or insecticides don't gel well. They're not compatible. There's something with the cell structure in dendrobiums that object to any kind of pesticide, insecticide, and they will just dump their leaves. So there's that. But I don't like... It's the same with my oncidiums. My conditions as the orchids grow, I either have to chop them down back to nursery size and start them over, but as the orchids grow, their demands increase, which is normal, and my conditions just start to show the flaws. So anyway, Joe says, I have one from the hibiki that is doing better than the mother plant. Well, that is good. That is good. That's encouraging, if you can do that. I'm just seeing limitations with my orchids as they grow into specimens, because then they need more. The larger they grow, the more perfect or more vulnerable they become to imperfect conditions. That is my observation. It happened with my large vandas. The moment they grew to an exponential size, the fact that I have such dry conditions, low humidity, it became a massive factor in their demise and in the lack of being able to recover because of their size based on what I did with the copper treatment. So the two went kind of hand in hand. Even if I revived some, new roots were growing, the fact that the size just, I would have had to chop them in half. And who does that? Well, I didn't. And it's just an observation I've made over the years as my orchids grow. They become more vulnerable. I see it with cousin It. He's massive now, and he's vulnerable because my conditions are too dry. But anyway, he's also another topic, another video. So I'm going to end this here now. Joe, thank you so much for keeping me. Maybe it's the lack of oxygen with roots. The lack of oxygen. Yes, but if you flush, you're putting oxygen around the roots in form of water. I don't know. But all these factors are definitely valid. Definitely valid, and it's food for thought. But I'm going to end the stream. The aphyllum has had her moment. I may be back, show her when she's in the sunshine, if I can do that tomorrow morning. If there are too many roots, then the lack of airflow. Yes, that is possible as well. Absolutely. It all has to do... There's a balance in everything. There absolutely is. And there's only so much you can do based on the growing conditions that you have for an X amount of time. Now, if I was growing permanently indoors with the right temperatures, etc., I could risk more attacking my orchids as far as dividing, get them to restart, etc., etc. I could be more aggressive about that, because I know at least from October through to April, I'll be okay with taking care of them with heat mats, lights, etc., etc. But under these conditions, it's just not feasible. It's ride it out and hope for the best. And oh well, if it doesn't work out. He's still around. He's not leaving anytime soon. But at least we've captured her, and I've got enough footage, pictures, this, that, and the other for my video. And if the blooms collapse, oh well, what can you do? Nature needs its turn too. As long as it stops drilling more holes into my mounts. I don't need that, because since my mounts are organic now, for the most part, I have had weevils and a carpenter bee show up. Never had these issues before, so there's that. Anyway, I'm going to love and leave you. Thank you, Joe, from the bottom of my heart. hand on heart as I say that to you, and anybody that has watched has at least come to check her out and has left a thumbs up. I really appreciate you. And, you know, maybe I'll see you around on the patio in a live stream random, because if this works so well with the app, also the resolution is much better than going through my streaming software, then watch out. The possibilities may just be endless. Anyway, have a wonderful day. Good morning, good evening, good night, depending on where you are in the world. Mwah! Besos.